Welcome to the Casino Insiders, and I'm your host, Deacon Kane. Hope everybody's doing good after this past weekend. Wow, what a crazy weekend of football it was, let me tell you. But the first thing I want to talk about is our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sponsor. That's Liquid Nitro Energy Drink. If you haven't tried it, you gotta try it. I'm just going to tell you this right now. It's one of the best I think I have ever had. But that's just my opinion. I love the low carb one. It's literally phenomenal. Haha, there's that word. Anyway, I would also love for you all to go to Deuces the Shop and order yourself a t-shirt or a hoodie. Say hi to Tick for me. Drink around Fremont Street. You never know. Have a little bit of fun, all right, everybody? Now, I can't forget this, and neither will you. Our third book is out. It's in regards to mastering Baccarat. So please go check that out. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it is free. All right, everybody? Okay, I kind of want to jump into things. We're going to talk about where we stand as of this year, up to week 7, as well as do week 8, and talk about the World Series that's coming up, which I am highly disappointed in, especially one team. Ugh. Anyway, time to move on. So here we go. I kind of kept forgetting to give you guys our weekly updates and tell you guys where we stood or where I stood record-wise. So I was going into last night's game, and I was 58, 42, and 3. Had a chance to be 60, 42 and 3. Well, that didn't quite happen due to the fact that I took Tampa Bay and San Diego, and that was just horrible choices. You know what they say, make good choices. Well, I didn't in those two games. So I am, as of week 7, I am 58, 44, and 3 ties. Remember, I do everything with the point spread. To me, that's actually pretty good, being 14 games above 500. I'm pretty happy with that. Looking around and kind of doing a little research, I'm up there with some of the big guys, so that's kind of nice to see and kind of fun. We'll see what happens at the end of this week. Who knows? Okay, so let's talk about Thursday night's game. You've got Minnesota at the Rams. Minnesota is favored only by 3, which is actually kind of interesting to me. The money line is a minus 150 for the Vikings, plus 130 for the Rams. Over and under is 48.5 points. To me, the Vikings should win this game handily. I am definitely taking the Vikings, plus I can't stand the Rams, or just LA, period. Just kidding. To all my friends down in the LA area, I'm joking around. You guys know that. But I can't stand the Dodgers, as we all know that. As we all know that, and this and that. It's like this and like that and like this. Anyway, sorry, I was having a flashback there. Now, here we go. First game on Sunday that they have here is Jets-Patriots. We have the Jets at Patriots. The Jets are favored by, I have 7.5 points here. We know that's going to change as the week goes on. But as of Monday night, 7.5 points. Jets are favored. So Jets are minus 340 money line. Patriots are a plus 270 money line. Over and under is 41.5. Well, you know, this is kind of a no-brainer because the Patriots are not very good team at all. I am going to have to go with the Jets. Hopefully their defense will shut down the Patriots, which they probably will, and it'll be a defensive affair. So here we go. We got Eagles at Bengals. Bengals are favored by 2.5 points. Money line for the Bengals is 150. The Eagles is plus 130. Over under is 47.5 points, folks. they're expecting a few points to be scored here. You know, Eagles have been up and down and in and out and over and under. So it truly depends when Jalen Hurts shows up. As you guys know, I always have that saying, it depends on who, what, where, when, and how shows up. But I'm going to take the points, and I'm going to take the Eagles plus 2.5. I think that's a good pick. That's just my feeling and my thoughts. The next game is going to be the Packers at Jaguars. And the Packers are a 4.5-point favorite. Minus 215 money line, plus 180 money line for the Jaguars. Over and under is 49.5. At 4.5 points, I got to take Green Bay. I think that's actually a good choice. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to step up at all this year, even though the Jags have won a couple of games. We'll see. Okay, so now this one is extremely interesting to me. Titans and Lions. Titans go into Detroit. Detroit's favored by 10.5 points. The over-under is 45.5. Wow. The money line for the Lions is a minus 550, and for the Titans is a plus 450. Man, this one's tough because the Lions are playing some phenomenal ball, but 10.5 points, that is a lot of points. I'm going to take the Titans and the points, and let's see what happens. All right, folks. Falcons Buccaneers. Wow, this is going to be one of those crazy games. Falcons forgot how to show up this past weekend. Buccaneers, woo, they got spanked. That's all I'm going to say. This one is kind of strange because when it first opened up, when I was looking through things, Tampa Bay was favored by 2.5 points. That flip-flopped, and now the Falcons are favored by 2.5 points. Wow. That amazes me. I wonder what the flip-flop was. I guess after the huge loss that Tampa Bay had, that kind of changes my picks for me. Oof. I was going to take the Falcons plus 2.5. Now, oof. You know what? I got to stay with the Falcons, but I'm going to go minus 2.5. I'm going to fix that here. Falcons minus 2.5. Man, that was a huge flip-flop. Okay. Going to stick with the Falcons, even though there is a 5-point difference. Going to be interesting. Over and under is 46.5 on that one. I would probably go the over just because the Buccaneers defense got exposed, and I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in that ball game. You've got Cardinals at Dolphins. Okay. The Dolphins are favored by... Stand by. Whoa. Okay, here we go. Dolphins are favored by 2.5 in Miami. No, I take that back. Favored by 3. It opened at 2.5. That's my bad. The money line is minus 165. Cardinals are a plus 140. The Cardinals are pretty hot right now, and they actually played some decent ball against San Diego this past week, but they are going into Miami. Miami really doesn't have a quarterback unless Tua actually does come back. I mean, Tua must be coming back. I've heard grumblings that he may or may not come back. So let's do this. I'm going to just stay safe. I'm going to take the Dolphins, and I'm going to give the points. So I'm taking the Dolphins minus 3 points. Okay. I think that's going to be your best bet on that one. Just due to the fact that the Cardinals are going back to Miami. It's an early game, 10 o'clock for most of the West Coast teams, because Arizona is still considered a West Coast team. So I think that's got to take into account. Okay, folks? All right. The next game is going to be the Ravens at the Browns. Well, we definitely all know who I'm taking in this game because who don't I take? The Cleveland Browns. Ravens are favored by 9.5. Over and unders 44.5. Money line is minus 425 for the Ravens, plus 320 for the Browns. I'm going minus the points, and I'm taking the Ravens. Okay? Minus 9.5. My pick's the Ravens. And just in case you guys wanted to know, my pick is the Ravens. It will never, ever, ever be the Browns again. Okay, thank you very much. Just thought I would say that. The next game is going to be the Colts at Texans. All right, this is going to be a fun one. Colts going to Houston. Houston's favored by 6. Money line is a minus 250 for the Texans, plus 210 for the Colts. Over and under is 45.5. Texans just came off a tough loss to the Packers, if I remember correctly. And the Colts actually played some decent ball. They had a nice W this past weekend. I'm going to actually take the Texans minus 6 points, guys. Okay? The next game is going to be New Orleans and San Diego. Well, not San Diego, sorry. The LA Chargers of San Diego. Chargers played horrible this past week. Their field goal kicker was the MVP of the team. Chargers are favored by minus 7. Saints really don't have a quarterback unless Carr comes back. Minus 380 for the Chargers, plus 290 for the Saints. Wow, this is going to be an interesting pick. I'm going to go minus 7.5. I'm going to take the Chargers. The over and under is actually 7.5, folks. Sorry about that. My bad. I'm definitely taking the Chargers, though. Minus 7.5. Next game is Bills at Seahawks. As we all know, Seahawks play tough when they're at home. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Bills don't seem to travel very well, especially up into the Pacific Northwest. Bills are favored by 3, though. Money line is minus 170 for the Bills, plus 145 for the Seahawks. I'm going to take Buffalo and minus 3 points, guys. All right, the next one is the overrated Chicago Bears versus the Commanders. Commanders had a rough game last week. They kind of choked, if I remember correctly. Actually, let me take a look at that. No, they had a bye week. That's right. Oh, no, they took out the Panthers last week. The Panthers are horrendous, as we all know. But Bears are favored by minus 1.5 going into Washington. Money line is 125. Commanders is a 105. Over under is 43.5 points. I'm going to take the points and the Commanders, so 1.5 points. Panthers Broncos. Ooh. Panthers going to Denver. Denver is favored by 7.5 points. Wow. 7.5 points. That's a lot of points. Minus 450 money line, plus 340 money line for the Panthers. Over under is 43.5 points. Boy, who do I want in this game? You know what? I think I'm going to take Denver. I'm going to go minus the points because I just don't think the Panthers are there or have a clue, to be quite honest. So you got the referee MVPs versus the Raiders. That game, the NFL MVP, sorry, I butchered that joke. So the Chiefs, I should say, or should say refs. I don't know. Just saying. Are favored in the game by, how much are they favored by? Wow, 10 points. That's a lot of points, but it is against the Raiders. Money line is a minus 600, plus 400 for the Raiders. Over under is 41.5. You know what? I'm going to take the Raiders in 10 points. They're playing in Las Vegas, and the Raiders seem to play KC pretty tough. So let's see. Hopefully the 10 points will help us out, folks. Now, this game is your Sunday night game, okay? You've got the Cowgirls versus the greatest team they're not the greatest team this year, but they are because I say so. The Niners are favored by 5.5. Over-under is 46.5. Money line is minus 210. Money line for the Cowboys is a plus 175. Both teams geez, I can't even talk. That's how bad it's been for both teams. Niners are injury riddled. Cowboys are injury riddled. I mean, this is going to be a battle of mash units, basically. Let's see what happens. But I am taking the Niners minus 5.5. That's just what I'm doing. Then we got the fun one. This one's going to be interesting. You've got the Giants versus Steelers. And the Steelers are favored by 6 points. Minus 290 for the Steelers. Money line is 240 for the Giants. The over and under on this game is, wow, that's ridiculous. 36.5 points. That's pretty low. They're expecting a low-scoring affair. I mean, Steelers' offense really hasn't shown up until this past week with the emergence of Russell Wilson. But how long will that last? Probably about 10 more minutes, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to take the Steelers minus 6. I seem to have gone with a lot of favorites this week. We'll see what happens. See if the point spread screws me or it helps me. Who knows? It may help me in a few cases, but I do know that I had about 12 losses were just because of the point spread alone, so that wasn't too good. Wasn't too fun either, let me tell you that. So let's talk World Series. You gotta love the World Series. The Fall Classic. You got the bums from New York, from the pain and the douchebags in LA and all that kind of good stuff. So here's my pick. You know, the Dodgers all have home field advantage. They have a better record than the Yankees. Dodgers pitching freaking had, 4 shutouts in the NL playoffs through the NLDS and NLCS. The Yankees were pretty much a hitting machine. I mean, that's all there was to it. This is going to be probably one of the closest matchups we've seen in years. You know, obviously the number 1 seed versus number 1 seed, it should be. And I am going to be taking the team that I hate the most, and that's the Dodgers, because I hope to jinx them. Does everybody understand this? I hope to jinx them, so I'm taking the Dodgers. So in my heart, let's go Yankees, but I'm picking the Dodgers to win the series, if you all know what I'm saying. All right. Curious to know who you guys want to pick in the series. Let me know. You can hit us up on social media. You can hit us up at the Casino Insiders. We're on TikTok and IG. You can also email us at twocasinoinsiders@gmail.com. All right, folks. Now, this has been a pretty quick episode, and I know I'm running through this, not really doing all this stuff, but I kind of wanted to get to this, okay? And it's a story that a buddy of mine sent me. And with that being said, he sent me like 4 stories. So I'm not sure which one I want to read first, but I think I'm going to go with this one first. So back in 2013, an Australian high roller managed to swindle $32 million from the Crown Casino in Melbourne by hacking into the casino's surveillance system. The player's accomplice worked on the security team, and fed him the information about other players' cards. The scheme fell apart when the casino caught on to the unusual winning streak and the winnings were confiscated. Man, talk about unethical. And why would you stay so long and get caught? I mean, give it an hour, because surveillance has numerous people up there watching and checking things out. And anyway, that's one of the weird stories. That was out of Melbourne, Australia. All right. Let's see what else. So this one's kind of strange, macabre, whatever you want to call it. A tragic and shocking story occurred in 2018 when a man named Salvador Rodriguez opened fire in the parking lot of the Saboba casino in California, killing his girlfriend and her 2 children before turning the gun on himself. Rodriguez was reportedly upset over his girlfriend's gambling habits, and this tragic event underscored the dark side of casino life. Okay. All right. Okay. So it makes it okay. Just, do a little bit of suicide. Well, I don't like what you're doing, so I'm going to throw a temper tantrum. God, I can't talk tonight. So throw a temper tantrum. There we go. Got it out. And just destroy 3 lives, basically. Your life's destroyed because you're a freaking idiot. But wow, that was absolutely sad. Let's be honest. Number one, that the woman had a gambling problem so bad that she's bringing her kids to the casino just to gamble. But on the other hand, her boyfriend or husband or whatever he was felt that he had to take her and her children out. Those poor kids were just straight up innocent victims. Horrible. Saddened to hear this and see this. That brings up something I haven't brought up in a while. If you do have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's near and dear to our hearts. We want to make sure everybody's taken care of here at the Casino Insiders. So please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. Thank you. And I think on that note, I'm going to leave it there and also let you know about our sponsors one more time. And you know who it is. Liquid Nitro Energy Drink. All right. Yeah. Liquid Nitro Energy Drink, folks. You gotta try the low carb. Like I've been saying. It is the absolute best energy drink out there right now. All right. Check out Deuces the Shop. Get your Casino Insider swag. Check out Tick. He's a little bit of a joker, folks. A little bit of a joker. And don't forget the Mastering Baccarat book. All right. It's out. Learn about Baccarat and all the strategies in regards to betting. All right. Hey, folks, from me to you, deuces.